Hi.
It's
There's
your
my
toast.
foot.
If you get one of those little signs that tells us when to laugh, we can laugh with you.
Oh, we're on.
Applause. We just watched that movie. What is
Welcome,
it?
everybody. I'm JD,
And I'm Gail.
and you're tuned in to Gail Force. Thank you for tuning in. If you're, let me take off my eyeballs. If you're new to the show, we talk about current events, and then we also talk about digital currency because we're into digital currency and stuff like that. I consider myself a radical capitalist, and Gail over here is our conspiracy theorist.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds great. And today we also have a live audience, so if you hear other voices and clapping and cheering and all that stuff, is
We're paid clappers.
we actually have a live audience here on Gail Force. So what's going on with Gail?
Oh, Lordy, what isn't going on? They're still going on with the doggone repo.
Repo. For the people who don't know what the repo is
Hard.
the banking system and the big banks are having problems. They're running out of money.
Yeah, now, if with the '08 thing, they were mandated to keep a certain amount of digital cash on hand overnight. And because things going on, they haven't been able to maintain that. So the overnight rate between banks spiked up to 10%. So they had to get the Federal Reserve to get involved in it. It's called the repurchase agreements. That's why they say repo. It's repurchase contracts.
Basically, to tell you in layman's term
It's a sneaky bailout.
is you think that when you go to a bank and you deposit your check or you deposit money, you think it goes into the vault and there's a thing, a box with your name on it and your deposit. You think the bank puts your deposit into your box that you always have, but that's not how the banks work. We work on what's called a
Fractional reserve.
fractional reserve, where the banks don't have to keep all your money.
No.
What they can do is use your money any way they want. And that's an agreement. When you sign a bank account and you open a bank account, anytime you put money in the bank, it becomes their money. It's not your money anymore.
You're a minor lender.
Yeah. And the banks use your money up to 10 times. Like if you put $100 in, well, 9 times. If you put $100 in, they take $90 of it and lend it out to other people, and they only have to keep $10 of your money.
You put $100 in, they can loan out $1,000.
So
which virtually they are creating $900 out of thin air.
out of thin air, they create money. So the banks really don't have all this money.
No.
Because they loan it out and they make billions and trillions of dollars on interest with all these loans. So if you go to the bank and want to withdraw your money, they don't go to your box in the safe, in the big safe there and pull out your money. They just find whatever money they have laying around and give it to you. So everything's digital. And the banks are having problems because they've loaned out so much money. They don't have the money when the big corporations need to pay their taxes. The big corporations come in and say, hey, I need a couple $100,000 to pay my taxes. And the banks have to come up with this money, but they don't have it in their safe. So the Fed comes in and says, we'll give you a short-term loan.
An overnight loan
to cover,
Oh, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, that's another scam.
That's a whole.
I saw that on the desk yesterday.
Right.
So
There's less than 10% of the money. If the banks were to close, only 7% of the people will ever get their money.
Oh shit! It says each person is covered up to $250,000. I saw that.
They don't
yesterday.
have that much
But
money.
they don't have.
That just said that's just a little sign that makes you feel
No,
fuzzy
no,
inside
no,
when you're
no,
handing out
no,
$10,000.
Before we get off on
My
another
bad.
side, they claim bankruptcy.
Before we get on another
Okay.
subject, let's continue. So what's happening is the Fed has their printing press is going 24 hours a day, printing out $100 bills to cover what the banks don't have.
Right.
And 24 hours is not enough for them to print. So the Fed has actually added 3 more hours to every day. They print 27 hours a day of money.
Yeah.
So they're just dumping all this money into the banks. And anytime the Fed prints money, that means your dollar bill is worth less.
Correct.
So every day your dollar is worth less.
So your financial backing, there's no backing for the money.
There's
They
no
don't put money out there. There's no gold in there.
Can I do it?
So what do they do?
Oh, you brought one with you?
So what do they
we
use?
need to redo this because we did a great.
Are they using cryptocurrency to back money now?
No,
No.
he's pulling out real silver here. We're going to show you how.
Oh, well, that's not a.
We're going to show you how prices have not risen. Everybody thinks prices are going
In
up.
1964, 1965, okay, that's the silver dollar, people. Okay,
1 ounce.
1 ounce. In 1964 and 1965, you could use a dollar bill with a silver certificate on it, or a 1 ounce silver dollar,
which is real money.
which is real money, by the Constitution of the United States that they don't want to go by.
Yeah.
You could buy 5 gallons of gas or 8 cans of Campbell's soup. Today, what does $1 bill buy you for gasoline?
Not
And
even
if
a
you-
gallon.
Well, when it's $2.75 or $3, and over $4 in California,
Yeah.
by the way. And a can of Campbell's soup can cost you up to $1.99, so you might as well say $2. So 2 times 12 would be $24. Okay,
No, you said 8 cans.
8 cans. That's right, 8 cans. 8 cans would be
16.
$16. You get 4 gallons of gas, 85, it's $2 a gallon. It's $2.50 around here. That would be about $16 or $17 for 8 cans of Campbell's soup or 5 gallons of gasoline.
So in other words,
But a silver dollar
buys the same thing.
still buys what it bought in 1964 and 1965. The price of gasoline hasn't gone up. Campbell's soup hasn't gone up. Your paper fiat currency dollar
Has lost value. It
has
takes
been
more.
deflated down because they printed so much of it.
It takes more of your dollars to buy the same thing. In
So silver dollars
1965.
is where the investment's at. That's where you want to invest.
Silver is an investment.
Precious metals.
Precious metal, silver, gold, palladium,
That's why the
Real
platinum.
quick, we just want to show
Melt
your
it down.
audience. So put on a quick, nice face. That's our audience over
Yeah,
there.
they're real. It's not a laugh track.
Yeah, and this is our producer over here, Kim. Let's get it back right. So what we're saying is your money is losing value. It
Correct.
takes more of your dollars to buy something. It's not that the corporations are charging more,
No.
because the silver will still buy the same amount today as it did back in
1964.
1960. Yeah.
65.
So, this is a way the government steals your money, is through inflation. So that's what's happening with the repo, and
Yeah.
that's really dangerous when the Fed has to keep printing money to keep the banks open.
Which is a form of quantitative easing.
We have a problem, because what's going to happen is if the banks failed, like they almost did in 2008,
Yes.
what would you do if the banks closed for 2 weeks?
First off, your debit card won't work and your credit card won't work. You're going to need cash.
It'd be like a hurricane.
Be like with a hurricane. Now, with a hurricane, if you can't get any internet access to swipe your card, but they got a diesel generator, we're in Florida, by the way. Okay, they have a diesel generator. You've got cash, you can still buy the gasoline. Credit cards, debit cards aren't going to work.
And this might happen if you got to remember, the banks are run by the government. The government can come in and tell every bank that they can either shut down single accounts,
Or they're backed by the
like the
government.
government can say, hey, JD Hoffman, we think he's doing nefarious stuff, so close his account so he has no access to his bank. Okay. They can also do that for the whole bank. They can tell the bank, you're going to take a 2-week vacation because we don't want you to go under, and we need to figure out how to steal more money. And this is what's going to be coming up here. Probably during the next election, you're going to see banks having problems. Because right now,
I think that's come before that.
some of the big banks in Europe are laying off up to 10,000 people. When banks start laying off people, that means they don't have the money to pay for them.
And that's a double-edged sword, because in Germany, you can't lay them off. You have to pay them anyway.
And this is what's happening. Some of the big banks are now laying off thousands of people,
Really?
which means
Well,
they
they
don't.
have self-checkout, just like Walmart now. We went downtown to Chase the other day, and they have, they even have it down here now. You can go in, you can skip the whole teller line. You
Yeah.
can just go to take deposit
You
the
still
money,
have to
take
have
your money
cash
out.
though.
But
It
if,
gives you the cash.
but-
No, they
if the
they'll
banks
read a
close,
check.
if the banks close down, you can't use
They'll
your
take
card.
a check.
They'll read a check. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can take a picture of my check and
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you can do the.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing. You don't need money. Like as long
Alright,
as
so
a
what
bank,
We
else
you
is
don't
going
don't
need
on?
need
people
paper money.
anymore. That's for certain.
Chase can write. I go to Chase Bank, and if they don't have enough cash in their vault to cover something, they can write me a lender's, what do you call it, a cashier's check, basically, that
Yeah.
says that I can go anywhere and cash that son of a bitch. I mean,
Correct.
just like cash, I go spend it.
Are they supposed to have your money?
In
It's an
their
IOU.
in their system.
Yeah. Now back in the day, it was an IOU, and the banks would write you an
Well,
IOU
it
if you
still
didn't
is
have
an
the money.
IOU. It is still is an IOU. People don't
Promissory
realize
note.
it's an IOU.
So what else is going on in the world?
Well, it's no longer CO2; it's nitrogen.
Oh, climate change.
No. Yeah, climate change, not global warming.
Not
Climate
global
change.
warming, it's climate change. All right,
What
so
happened?
nitrogen is the problem. So the farmers are the problem.
Yep. In Netherlands, Holland, the Netherlands, not Denmark, the
The
Netherlands.
people that wear the wooden shoes.
They literally, because they couldn't
It's Holland.
prove CO2 in the Netherlands.
Yeah, lighter.
Just yet.
Stuck her
Don't-
on right in front
You
of the
get in
camera.
the camera.
I thought
She
this
stuck
was
her on
the
right in
camera.
front of the
That's
camera.
just a monitor.
That's the
Oh,
camera right there.
my bad.
Okay.
Put your hand behind it.
Since science can't be proved on the CO2 thing, because if there's that much CO2,
No.
They can't prove it. They can't prove
Oh.
Well, everything is CO2. All oxygen turns to CO2.
I didn't
once
think
you-
about that.
once you pull the oxygen out.
You did
That's
though.
why I said to him, don't throw it.
if there's that much CO2, your plants would be growing at twice the rate because
I need one of these automatic
my
cameras.
photosynthesis,
Carbon dioxide, it sucks up all of the. It sucks up
that
the
is
plant.
the food
That is the fuel
for
for
plants.
plants. Exactly. Photosynthesis, correct.
So plants will be growing at twice the rate they used to because they got twice as much food and they're getting fat and happy.
Oh, like our bellies?
You betcha.
Well,
We
we need
earned
that,
them.
don't we? We
We
need
earned
that. Is that the
We
need?
we exhale.
There's never
Sorry.
going
We
to be
need
more
plants that are
CO2. There
twice
can never
as big,
be.
right?
There's never going to be
To
more CO2 than oxygen unless you take down all the trees.
And we
Otherwise, it's
actually,
impossible.
and we actually have more trees today than we did 200 years ago. Everybody thinks we have less trees. We have.
We don't have as much. We don't have trees. Ain't the only thing that does it. Photosynthesis works through grass. Photosynthesis
Yeah.
works through trees. Photosynthesis
Yeah.
works through leaves.
any
Photosynthesis works through any greenery. That
Seaweed.
anything. So
Seaweed? No.
seaweed, yes, but seaweed, the carbon dioxide is harder to get. That's why
Anything
seaweed don't
green.
grow like that. It grows in. It grows in
I
the
know.
vessels.
When you have rain, carbon dioxide is washed down, is trapped in the water. It goes out in the ocean, and because of the tide and the ebbing and flowing,
It gets trapped under.
it gets trapped under, and the seaweed absorbs it and produces oxygen.
But once that molecule, once CO2 hits the oxygen of water, it becomes back the oxygen. It
All right,
turns back that.
We need to get back on track here.
Okay,
And if you're just tuning in, I'm JD,
and I'm Gail.
and you tuned into Gail Force. You can find us under
Or the back
YouTube
channel.
under Gail Force Creations. You can find us on Facebook under Every Bit Matters.
Correct?
And we're talking today about the Netherlands. And the government is now going after fertilizer because they can't prove CO2 is a
So
problem.
now it's
So
nitrogen.
now it's nitrogen, which is fertilizer. So the farmers are doing what?
Oh, they've blocked up all the major highways all across Netherlands because they put so many fines, fees, and restrictions on the farmers. It's going to cut their profit down to the point they're not even going to be able to have the lights on or feed their families.
So do you think this is going to be coming to the U.S. pretty soon?
It's been here for years.
Well, yeah, because Elizabeth Warren's going to be the president, and that's we are going to have.
And real quick, there was a presidential or a Democratic debate last night
Mhm.
where they were all beating up on each other. And Beto O'Rourke says coming after your guns, whether you like it or not. But this is the problem with government. It's so big that it's easily corrupted.
There's 34 million people work for the government, directly or indirectly.
And we're paying for all their pensions and
That's
everything.
10% of our
And we won't even get
population.
into pensions on how bad that is. California is probably going to break off and go into the ocean because they can't pay all their pensions. So that's a
Okay.
whole different thing.
Or somebody might just use their
we will
soul
have a
and cut
party
them
when
and make
that
them fall
happens.
into it, huh?
So right
Florida.
now,
Here we go.
it's not that we're anti-government or anti-bad government. Government is evil.
We're anti-restrictive government.
You have to have a government.
You have to have a
Some sort.
government, but you need a.
Why?
You have somebody govern people. Otherwise, people like
Why?
me would take over the world. Because we just take what we want. I mean, if we want it, we just take it. Who
That's
stops
what the
us?
Second Amendment's for.
Your Second Amendment's great, but you gotta have government to back the Second Amendment. Otherwise, it's
Why?
just man backing it.
No, the
The
whole.
Second Amendment is to make the government stay under your control, not you
Well, they're
under
supposed to
their
be public
control.
servants.
To be,
Correct.
to be honest,
They're supposed to be public servants.
Yeah.
Is the way everything's written out.
government. We need government, but we need
Yeah,
government to protect our rights,
I don't
the
like
rights of the individual. That's
Exactly.
what the
You
government-
need,
They don't.
but you have to have
But
government.
now it's so big. It's
They
easy-
had
it's
roads,
easily
they had
corrupted.
bridges, they had buildings, they had universities, they had libraries
Libraries.
before we got the government we've got today.
You're right.
Yep.
You got the government today is not nothing like the government was.
We're going back to
Oh,
robber
okay.
barons.
Under
J.P.
private,
Morgan.
No,
Chase,
that's a
under
myth.
private enterprise,
Robber
CBS. Oh,
That's-
really? I
that's
took a
That's a
college
myth.
class on that.
Under
They teach you what they
private
want you to know.
enterprise.
What?
Yeah.
Because the government paid for my
the
education.
government worked
That's a
better
myth.
under private enterprise than
Really?
it did
Yeah.
under government control. Government control, if you donate money to the U.S. government, you'll only get 10 cents per dollar that ever gets anywhere. Under private enterprise, you'll get at least 80% at where you need it.
And you can see that with the Bahamas.
That's a fact.
When we had this hurricane in the Bahamas, who were the first people that was starting to bring supplies and what they needed, water and everything, food to the islands? It was the cruise lines, because that's their moneymaker. The cruise
Thank you.
lines go to the Bahamas because that's
Will
how
you
they make
grab
their
me an
money.
egg?
And who was bringing water
Okay,
and
no,
food? It was the cruise lines.
You don't want to go to Bahamas if it's stormed over, so the cruise lines will rebuild it and make it back to a place
Yeah.
where people want to go.
Private enterprise.
Private
It's not government.
It's
It's
not government.
private enterprise.
Yeah. Everybody thinks they need the government. You don't need. You want such a small government that you never even have to worry about elections.
Oh.
You only thing you need government for is
We're not done.
national or international defense.
We're not done.
They're not done. You need
Yeah,
more
they are.
salt?
Oh, it-
No, you don't need
Yeah.
government to
Thank
run
you.
everything.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Well, you
so
can't get by, can you?
the Netherlands are going to stop the farmers from using fertilizer, so they can't grow nothing and feed the people,
Right.
and that's probably going to be coming here soon.
Right. And then they're going to wonder why the price of groceries is going to double. I know Donald Trump did it.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was. Donald Trump did it.
He does everything.
What you said?
He does
what was
everything.
this
I'm
time?
working because of him. I think.
All right, so what's
I
what,
stopped watching news years ago because of all this crap. However, I did watch it the other day, and I know he turned his head just like when he wants to be sincere. Y'all notice that?
Yeah. Thing is everybody's carrying on about this stuff
don't
about
care.
the doggone,
He's
you know, the
personally
trade
playing
and all that kind of stuff. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We're supporting the people in Hong Kong that want the right to vote to be independent and be a free country. And China's mad because we're trying to back the people
who want to be free?
who want to be free. They want them to be enslaved by the Chinese dictatorial government, Xi Jinping or whatever his name is,
And
Wong Tong Fui. He's not a president. He is a dictator for life. And if you say he's a president, I've got some oceanfront property 40 miles east of Titusville. I'll sell you real cheap.
wait, that's where Barack Obama was.
I gotta have my private jet to be able to get to the ocean.
All right, so that's our next topic is what's happening in Hong Kong. They're actually walking around in Hong Kong with American flags, pictures of Donald Trump, because they want to be free from the government. They don't want the government telling them what they have to do.
But if we don't enslave China, then we got to.
But then we have the NBA and all these players who are saying, well, they love communism and you know
because they're making more money.
They're
It all boils down to the almighty dollar. I mean, you got people trying to come across our border waving flags
quick.
from other countries.
real quick, keep that in mind. I want to let everybody know that everybody has heard this saying that money is the root of all evil.
No, it's the love of money.
It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is good. Money, anytime some somebody from the government says that money is evil and that you
Nope,
shouldn't have
nope.
billionaires, you better run as far away from those people as you can because money is good.
Money is the root
Money-
of evil, but
No,
it's the love of
it's
money.
the
is root
love of
evil,
money
It's the
that's the
love
root.
of money.
which would be greed, which would be one of your 7 deadly sins. I
Yeah.
mean, everything
Correct.
comes back to your
It's
But-
7
not
deadly sins.
money's the evil.
Not
Because
money.
what's money? Money has been seashells. Money has been wooden tokens. Money has.
Rubles, Krugerrands, it depends on what year you're.
At one time, they had flower seeds as money.
Krugerrands are
No,
$20,000
that's
worth of
gold.
gold. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
gold.
That's how
Okay.
you spend his money.
But the thing is, it's not the money.
That's not the money.
It's the obsessed,
And that's why
obsessive love of
and that's why
Greed.
they're going after capitalism, because they say capitalism is ruining everything because everybody's
We
so
haven't had
greedy.
capitalism since
We-
before Ronald Reagan became president.
Well,
I've
we have-
never seen capitalism in my
was
life.
back
They say
in the-
that, but I've never seen
Capitalism was
Crony
around.
capitalism.
Capitalism was almost around in the 1800s when the Industrial Revolution came around.
Well, there was one president that tried to bring back true capitalism. He also tried to send us to the moon. He also tried to take and make the Federal Reserve go away. And mysteriously, he died in Dealey Plaza.
And what's strange is
Is that, which one
what's
is that?
strange is
Kennedy.
he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
Who,
Today,
he
is-
loved capitalism.
he is more right wing than Donald Trump.
That just shows you how bad the Democratic Party has gone.
So they say that the center is here, but the progressives have moved the center so far to the left. And I had a disagreement with the woman who lived down the street.
We don't forget.
She believed that, what was his name used to be on Fox News?
Bill O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly. She thought he was a right-wing radical. I said, Bill O'Reilly is a centrist at best,
Yeah.
and not a good centrist.
All right.
See-
Before we end the show, because we're going to do another show right after this called Geezos on Beer.
Okay.
Let's talk real quick about anything happening in the digital coin.
They're all down right now, but that's because they think there's going to be some big deal coming out. So they're suppressing gold, silver, and cryptocurrency. Now, this is not financial advice, just in our opinion.
Yep.
You need to have food, water, gold,
Beer.
silver,
Beer.
and brass.
Brass?
Yeah. As
You
an
had a bunch of brass.
Oh, yeah, we have some of
I had
that.
to throw my brass in
and
the scrapyard.
ammunition.
Ass.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well,
need some ass and beer.
well, wink, wink. This is supposed to be family friendly.
Oh, my God.
But
Who said
anyhow,
that?
It was him.
If you're just tuning in, I'm JD.
I'm Gail.
And you're listening to Gail Force. You can find us on YouTube under Gail Force Creations. You can find us on our Facebook under Every Bit Matters. And we're just discussing the day's events.
And we roast everybody left, right, and in the middle.
And if you want to, we're going to cut this kind of short because we do have a audience here, a live audience. We're going to do another show that we do called Geezos on Beer because we've been partaking a little bit.
Yeah,
so
some libations.
we're going to do that shortly. You can find that on YouTube also called Geezos on Beer and on Facebook called Geezos on Beer. So we'll be doing that shortly. Again, I'm JD.
And I'm Gail.
And
Enjoy your day.
so what is Bitcoin at right now, real quick? 8,100 or something like that?
Get the
It's down that part, was it? 10,000.
Oh, did you see the article I posted on Every Bit Matters about Civic? It's coming back up.
What's Civic?
Oh
It's
my
another
goodness, look at
digital-
this. Litecoin is $52. Bitcoin is $8,035.
Ooh, it's gone down.
Civic is at 3 cents. Oh yeah, there's a guy called J-Snip4. He told me to get in at $1, and I'm sitting on. Let's see.
Yeah, but hang on. Read the article that I posted
30
about
cents.
Civic. It's about the.
I've got 109 Civic that I bought at $1 a piece, and right now they're a whole 3 cents.
Well, hang on to it. We're hodlers, so hang on.
Okay.
To it. No, we don't do trading.
So you paid $109 for it, and
Yeah.
you're now at.
And right now
$1
I'm
something.
at $4.11.
So you've lost a.
But hang on.
$105.
You haven't lost anything and you haven't gained anything until you turn it back to fiat currency.
Until you cash it out. So hang on to it. We're
What's
hoping.
the Litecoin? That's a new crypto coin.
It's,
Oh.
it's the silver.
We'll talk about that on another issue or off camera.
All right, so thank you for tuning in. And again, we're going to try to get back to our regular weekly shows, which we try to do every Sunday.
How many?
I want to thank Gail for bringing over some medicinal.
Yeah.
Uh,
His back's been hurt. He worked.
if anybody knows a petite Asian woman who will walk on my back,
I've got a.
appreciate it.
I've got a.
All right, we're gonna say goodbye, and then we're gonna do another show here in just a second. So tune in, and again, thank you for tuning in. If you like us, subscribe to our channel. It's Gail Force Creations, and you can always comment, and we'll try to give you a heads up whenever we do a show from now on. Again, I'm JD,
And I'm Gail.
and you're tuned into Gail Force Creations. Thank you for watching us.